Another thing I'm curious about is your thoughts on Kyrie Irving because he's going to play this week. I believe he's going to play Tuesday. How do you think Kyrie is going to come out?
Uh, I don't know. Good question. I think. Well, there's no reason. See, I'm torn. Like he shouldn't. He's had plenty of time to prep. I mean, I don't know. He keeps like a lean build, I guess. Like, is he always in game shape? Has he been in game shape this whole time?
I mean, he's
Do
not.
they have
He's
him
not.
on a minutes restrictions? But I mean, I don't know. He needs to come in and just be like the idea of like the ultimate sixth man or something, and just come in and spark like
Mhm.
nonstop. Just get baskets when the team is exhausted. I guess I don't know. If you have him out there the whole time with the starters, I mean, obviously, he starts the game. I just don't know how you run the minutes, or what units you try to keep him in with. Because I would imagine you use him to shore up some of the time when you can't have Harden and Durant, instead
Mhm.
of having them all out there at the same time, all the time. I don't know. I guess that's for those guys and Nash to figure out. But I don't know. Do you think they have him on any kind of like minutes restrictions yet, or they just let him go?
If it was me, I would definitely put him on a minutes restriction. I wouldn't bring him off the bench, but I would put him on a minutes description, and I would still have James Harden be the primary ball handler. And here's why I'd say that because Harden has had a good last couple of weeks, even though they caught another L last night against the very injured Clippers. Um, Harden has been playing better. So I wouldn't take the ball out of Harden's hands right now. So I would have Kyrie playing off the ball more as a two guard versus the facilitator in the offense. Really quick, hold that thought. I want to go back to our previous conversation because I pulled the list up here on my iPad. So Carmelo Anthony is in the top 10, but he's nowhere near threatening LeBron James or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's 11,000 points behind, but he's number 9. The next active player on this list, and this is just the top 25, is number 24, and that's Kevin Durant. He would have to score another 14,000 points to catch Kareem or LeBron. And I don't think at his age he's going to be capable of doing that, considering he did lose a season. Um, what do you
How
think
old
about
is
that?
Kevin Durant compared
I,
to LeBron James?
I believe there's a 5 or 6 year difference. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but because Durant's sitting at 24,000, he has to hit 38. What do you think?
I don't know. That seems a bit much.
Because
But
consider looking at this list in the top 25. There's only 3 players in the top 25 active: LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Kevin Durant. That is phenomenal. That is
that's wild.
phenomenal. That's wild.
Do you think? Now, how old is Stephen Curry?
Steph Curry is like 30, 32, 33.
He missed too much time, I guess, early
He
on
did.
to even.
Yeah, remember early in this
Mm,
year, he lost a couple of. He actually lost a full season almost twice with those ankle injuries and that last
yeah,
injury that he had. All right, so get back,
yeah. Okay.
get back to Kyrie. So, like I said, off the ball, keep the ball in James Harden's hands because I think it'll be too big of an adjustment right now to take the ball out of James Harden's hands and then let Durant be Durant because we know what Durant's going to do every night, 30 to 35 points, and that's it. That's all he needs to do. So my next question is, if the Brooklyn Nets do not win the championship this season, what will the excuse be? Because God knows we heard every excuse in the book last season. What will it be this year?
Well, I'm gonna like basically tell you the same thing I told you the other day because I don't have a really good answer for it other than the stuff we've kind of been saying all season. Because I don't think either one of us had the illusion that Brooklyn was gonna have some kind of like cakewalk, even with Kyrie healthy, uh, just getting into the or getting winning a championship. Um, I didn't, and I'm pretty sure you didn't either. Not that I didn't think didn't have the talent to get there. I just didn't think there was anything else like besides those three, and I didn't think that was enough. Um, and on the flip side of that, you know, we're having to eat crow with our Lakers pick because they don't look anywhere capable of winning a championship right now either. So we'll be the first ones to admit we were wrong there. But I don't know what Brooklyn says or does because for me, it's not a surprise. I didn't think it would ultimately be enough because there's nothing else there. Um, the load that Durant and those guys are gonna have to carry, I just think is for a really intense 7 game series against another great team. That the other teams that are there have depth. The other teams that are gonna be there at the end, they have a bench. They have other weapons, and I just don't think that those three guys were going to be quite enough. Now, I could be crazy, that's fine, but I don't know what the excuse is because I didn't see it to begin with. I don't know. Their bench, Kyrie Irving missing so much time with the team, um, James Harden coming in and having problems, both with his conditioning and with the rule change. You can't put any blame on Kevin Durant because he's playing like an MVP. Um, I don't know what their excuse is. Steve Nash not being experienced. I don't know. How many things can we pick? The bench all being old and decrepit. What more? What more can you say? But I wasn't convinced of it to begin with. Not to be like, oh, they won a championship. I'm so surprised. It's just I thought it would be a lot for them to pull it all together. And so I don't know. What do you think their excuse is?
Well, I was coming from a fan perspective because we heard all the Brooklyn Dick Riders crying all year about people being hurt, people being out, COVID, yada, 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 yada. So I was wondering, okay, what excuses are left for them to use this year? I went on record earlier this year in one of the podcasts stating that I don't think Steve Nash is going to be the coach next year if they don't win the championship this year because something at that point will have to change. Something will have to change because for almost 2 years now, all we've heard is Brooklyn's the best team in basketball. Brooklyn's going to win the championship. And we have stood strong and said, how? It's not going to happen. So we're Kyrie's coming back. They're going to be quote unquote complete. I think some people are going to talk about continuity as far as Irving only being allowed to play in road games. So that might be an excuse somebody would come with. But I asked you this question last year. I believe Kevin was on with us. I'm going to ask it again. If Brooklyn doesn't win the championship, would you consider it a complete and utter failure?
Yes.
Got it. I'm in total agreement with you.